Thank you, Isolina. Um, I welcome everybody to this briefing of today. This is the 48th briefing of such, and I believe some of us are regular customers to this briefing. Like Isolina mentioned, today's briefing is an interesting topic, strengthening rural livelihood in the face of rapid urbanization in Africa. Some of us actually come from rural areas, and we know the challenges that are there. Looking at the issue in a global perspective, we know that the world urban population today is around 3.2 billion, and this is more than the total world population in around 1960. So the population is actually exploding. People are moving from the rural areas to the urban areas, and actually the UN projection for the world urban population is a growth of about 1 billion between 2010 and 2025. And with this type of trend, it is pertinent to address such a topic at this particular point in time. But one major issue we are going to be looking at the mandate of the CTA itself, is to relate this to the impact of the rural people who are engaged in agriculture, whose livelihood depend on the activities in the rural areas, and the impact of this on health, on education, the social impact, the economic impact, and all other impacts that we can think about. Now, when we talk about the urbanization and the rapid growth that we are witnessing, especially in the African continent, we are trying to say what are the drivers of urbanization. And we know without mincing words that people move for better economic opportunities in the urban area due to lack of prospect in their home, in their farms, in their villages. People are seeking better life, and this actually is a wake-up call for us to concentrate and invest in the rural areas so that our people can stay in those areas to be able to carry out their economic activities. In the sub-Saharan African regions, we know that this is actually a peculiar problem because Africa is known to be a very young continent. That being that majority of the population are between the age of 25, 45, 50, which are the people that are very hardworking. And because of this, a lot of them are looking for means of livelihood outside the rural areas, and we need a lot of investment in those areas to be able to sustain the population. I will mention just a few factors that actually constitute this rural people that we refer to as peasants. We have the farm, which is the only asset that they have. We have the family, which is the social component of it. We have the class that has to come to them for trading, to buy their stores and co. And then we have the community because they associate with themselves also. But in addressing all these challenges of the rural and urban migration, we have to look into some other factors or some other policy issues that could come from this kind of meeting. The first is to encourage productive cities, because we even know that migration from rural to urban is not only about good life alone. There are millions of people in the urban area that are living in slums and that are living in abject poverty, even while in the city. So if the cities could be upgraded and the secondary cities are strengthened, the livelihood of these people could be improved. Some of them could gather resources and go back to the land to be able to continue their activities. Again, the need for investment in the demographic transition into investment in rural development is another pertinent issue that I believe will be coming out from the discussion of today. Another issue, which is an area where I'm particularly interested, is supporting rural population to adapt to climate change. We know today a lot of relocation is taking place. because of lack of adaptation capacity in the rural areas. And we believe if those rural population are supported to actually adapt through an improved system of farming, through subsistence farming, and farming that could be sustainable, they will remain in the rural areas. I don't want to go to the technical nitty-gritty because I believe the two panels that will be contributing to the discussions of today are competent enough, and I believe the ACP countries and member states will be able to benefit much from the two panels that will be taking the floor today to discuss this very pertinent issue. I thank you very much, both.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ojo, and thank you again for welcoming us here.